Bonjour! Bonjour, my loves. Welcome back to another vlog. As you can tell, I have moved. I have moved apartments. I have so much to update you on, but that is a whole other vlog in itself, coming very soon. I haven't finished it yet. For today, a question that I get asked a lot is, how is your French coming along, Jess? I have been very open about taking learning French seriously, very dedicated to it. I fully intend to become fluent in French. It is a hardcore goal this year to be able to have a full conversation in French by the end of the year. And I am very pleased with my progress. I am taking lessons. I have been taking lessons with Lingoda, who, if you want to learn a new language, I cannot recommend enough. They are very kindly sponsoring this vlog. They've been helping me a lot with their classes. I've been taking lessons with them every single week. So when I hear feedback on my progress from friends or random people, like the guy who helped me move this weekend, didn't speak a word of English, and he said that you speak really good French for an English person, which made me feel very proud of myself, very, very happy. So it is definitely coming along, and I have a lot to share if you are someone who is interested in learning a new language. I am a huge fan of self-improvement, achieving your dreams, setting goals, achieving them, all that kind of stuff. And I know that a lot of us, it is a really, really common dream, common goal to want to learn a new language. French isn't the only language that I plan to learn. I really want to learn to speak Italian as well. Let me know in the comments which is your chosen language of choice, what you would absolutely love to learn how to speak. I don't think you have to be planning to move to a new country to want to speak a new language, though if you are, I think that you absolutely should try to learn that new language. Maybe you just want to do it for yourself, or perhaps you go on somewhere regularly on holiday and you would love to be able to just, order your dinner in the language of that country. I think if you're an English speaker as well, if that's your maternal language, like it is for me, I think we all share that feeling of not wanting to be the awkward / rude British tourist that can't speak a word of another language. I always find it really cringe. I find it a bit embarrassing as well. So it was non-negotiable for me. Moving to France, I am going to learn to speak French. I'm going to do my absolute best. I'm really going to push myself. Learning a new language is difficult. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of dedication, and I have been learning a lot about the process. I feel like I have a lot to share with you as I am progressing about how to make learning a new language easier. Okay, so the first thing that I will say is try to make learning your chosen new language a habit. It's one thing to say, oh, I'd love to learn, a new language, but making it a habit is what makes it actually happen. One of the reasons that I love Lingoda is that you can schedule your classes. So at the end of every week, I like to plan out my upcoming week. That is when I will book my upcoming class for that week. Another tip that I have in terms of building habits, what I tend to do is to marry my habits. So for example, I clean my apartment every single Saturday. It's my routine. It just happens. So what I can do is I can plan my Lingoda language class immediately after I have cleaned my apartment. The two kind of end up going together, so you end up stacking them on top of one another, and it means that they are both more likely to happen. Next tip in terms of marrying habits is to add your desired new habit immediately after something that is already ingrained in your daily routine. So it could be something like brushing your teeth when you do the food shop. Could be anything. So think of something that you automatically do on repeat on a regular basis, and try to arrange your language classes or your dedicated time to language learning immediately after that. It makes it so much easier. If this summer you want to learn a new language, accelerate your existing learning, you want to make it a habit, you want to improve dramatically, then Lingoda do have an exclusive offer. It is just for you guys if you click the link in the description that I am going to leave for you, for what they call their sprint challenge or their super sprint challenge, which is 60 days of learning. Basically, what happens is you either take 30 classes over 60 days and you receive 50% cash back. There is a discount as well. Or if you're really hardcore, you can do 60 classes in 60 days. You receive 50% cash back. Again, there is a discount on top of this. You can get that by clicking the link in the description. The discount at the link in the description equates to over £100 off, and if you complete the sprint, it equates to over £400 back in cashback. But the main thing is that you are guaranteed to completely level up whichever language it is that you choose to learn. You can be at any level to do this. You can be a complete beginner, or you can already have a foundation knowledge. In terms of building a new habit, this is a great way to go. And as I said, I really cannot recommend Lingoda enough. I find the classrooms to be a really nice, chilled, happy vibe. The teachers are really cool, and I love that you can have lessons at any time of day, so it's a really flexible way to learn as well. Second tip is to get over the embarrassment of speaking in public, of practicing a new language. Again, one of the great things about Lingoda is that you are in a live virtual classroom, and the teachers are all native speakers of the language that you are wanting to learn, and you get to actually practice speaking with people who speak the language fluently, but also with the other people in the class, like your classmates. You get to practice together, and because you're all at the same sort of level, it feels easier to do. I have personally found practicing my French with people that I know a lot scarier than, say, when I go into a random restaurant or a shop. I find that is when I'm less embarrassed, and I don't know if it's because I'm just never gonna see that person again or what it is, but that's the way that it's been for me. But the more I practice speaking, the easier it is coming. And over the embarrassment of getting things wrong has been huge, but it's only happened from doing my classes, from exposing myself to those awkward, uncomfortable feelings. The more I practiced, the less I cared about getting things wrong, and now I just say whatever comes into my head. Because the weird thing that I noticed with learning a language is that the first step is that you start to understand it, but you can't put the words together in the right order to reciprocate. But now I just try. I just go for it, and I'm fine with making mistakes. I know that that's all it's just part of the process. Adding even more to that, tip number 3 is definitely to let go of perfection. Letting go of perfection will set you free in terms of learning a new language. When I first started, and again, if you are the awkward tourist abroad, like I used to be, you will totally understand this. I wanted to speak French fluently and perfectly, else not at all. I thought there's no point in even trying. But it was one of my teachers in one of my Lingoda classes that said that you have to be willing to be bad, you have to be willing to fail in order to learn. Like, that is how we learn. anything, especially a new language. He also said when I was making mistakes during practice, he was like, Jessica, write it down. You need to write this down now, because if you've made the mistake today, you will make it again tomorrow. So I started keeping a little book of all the phrases and all the words that I learned. I started keeping that with me at all times. When I took the pressure off learning and I stopped taking it so seriously, I was willing to make mistakes, my confidence improved tenfold. 4 is a manifestation technique, it did come again from a Lingoda teacher, and it is to tell yourself that you already speak the language. So when we're learning something new, something that we're unsure about, not feeling very confident in, our self-beliefs can get in the way. So your inner critic might pop up while you're learning a new language and say things like, my gosh, you sound so stupid. Who do you think you are? You're never going to get this right. This is really difficult for you. Blah, blah, blah. You need to conquer that by changing your mindset and telling yourself that you already speak the language. It will instill you with confidence. It's a case of faking it before you make it. What I found when I took his advice and I stopped telling myself that, je parle un peu français, I can only speak a little bit of French. I started telling myself, I can speak French. Everything changed and I started to take a lot more risks. It was really strange in that it was as if my brain could access more information that I had been ingesting from my classes, from all my learning, and I definitely started to feel more confident and felt like I had more flow. Tip number 5, the very last tip, is to immerse yourself in the language. A guy that I dated, Jan, bless him, he used to tell me, Jessica, one day you will dream in French. I was like, okay, sure. Hasn't happened quite yet, but immersing myself, not just in practicing through lessons, has really, really helped. So personally, I don't think it is enough to just show up for a class once, even 2-3 times a week. I think that you have to fully go for it. So what I try and do is I listen to French music, I listen to French podcasts. There are quite a lot of very short, simple podcasts available. I'll leave a link to those in the description if you want to have a look at them. And I also try to watch French films. So I'll go and watch French cinema, or I'll watch French series. The more you immerse yourself in a language, the better, for sure. The other thing that I like to do is I like to try to read in French. I found this really cute book and the layout of it is amazing. It has French on the left side of the page, on the left page, and then it has English on the right. So you can see, like the direct translation. So I try and sit with that regularly as well. But for sure, doing the classes isn't enough on its own. I made listening a daily habit on my walks. Again, I married the two habits together, and very soon I found that I started to understand. It's really, really strange how it happens. It's not a linear process. Tip for watching things in a foreign language is to watch things that you already know. So watch a film that has been dubbed, or a series that's been dubbed, maybe one of your favorites, because when you already know the storyline, you already know the script, your brain will naturally fill in the gaps so you can pay attention to those words in an alternative language. I really hope that has helped. I am so cheering you on to learn a new language. If that is something that you want, let me know in the comments what your learning experiences have been, how you have learned a new language, if it's something that you've achieved, any more tips that you got for me, for the rest of us to share. Leave them in the comments. Hope that you've enjoyed it. Cheering you on. You absolutely can do this and it'll be worth it. Also, a big thank you to Lingoda for helping me with my French learning and for sponsoring this vlog. I will leave a link for the sprint details that I talked about earlier in the description if you want to really go for it this month and accelerate your learning.